Wow, I don't think anybody saw that coming, but it's time to get back to work. Hey everyone, after a 2-month break, finally back in action with the vlogs. Long story short, I just started having voice trouble again and I had to decide which content to continue with and which content to let go. So last quarter I decided to finish off the content calendar and cut the vlogs, and this quarter, we're actually going to be reducing the number of videos we are posting to this channel, but I'm going to bring the vlogs back because I actually enjoy making these because they're a lot more casual and I get to talk about what I actually want to, as opposed to, just giving whatever the YouTube algorithm is asking for. So there is an apartment tour coming of this place in BGC, Philippines, as well as the previous place because the vlog schedule got all messed up. But I digress. You clicked on this video and you saw in the thumbnail, we are doing goals for 2020 Q3, which is, I guess, already in progress, but I digress. So let's go ahead and jump into my screen. Let's stop my rambling here in the intro. These are our annual goals. So of course what we do is we set big goals for the year. You'll notice that these are all action-based goals. I'm a huge fan and proponent of action-based goals because at the end of the day, you can only control your actions. You can only take responsibility for your actions, and you hope that the actions that you have laid out will give you the results that you're ultimately looking for. In this particular instance, growing our business and having more happy customers, right? What else could you ask for as a business owner? So our big team goal for the year is going to be 3 hires. Of course, we have a bunch of content. We want to make some sales funnels, and we actually finished a big YouTube course creation, how to grow a YouTube channel last quarter. And of course that course launch totally bombed because everyone just found out that they had to stay at home and nobody knew if they're going to have a job in a month. And so we got like 5 sales out of, I don't know how many 100 emails we wound up sending. So anatomy of a sales launch failure will be coming later. So I'll talk about that later. So now what I want to do is scroll up here. I'll get to this in a second because that's something new as well, cramming a lot in here. So if you want me to take a deeper dive on anything we're about to cover, just comment below because I do still read and reply to every single one, and I do want to make sure that I share as much as possible in this process because it's really one of the keys to your success. So what I like to do for the quarterly goals is we decide what is going to be our one big push, or which one of the quadrants are we really going to focus on. Are we going to focus on internal systems and development? Are we going to push out a bunch of content? Are we going to focus on creating some more sales funnels? Or are we going to focus on building products? So last quarter, it was building products and internal systems. So we always have an A1 and an A2. I'm borrowing that directly from David Allen's Getting Things Done. I did not come up with that system at all. So this quarter, for the first time, A1 is actually our sales funnels, and it's actually going to come in front of our content, which is another reason I'm going to be reducing the amount of videos I'm posting, content videos I'm posting for the coming quarter. So for this quarter, my main goal, and I'll show you a complete Gantt chart here in a moment, okay? So don't worry, you're gonna get the whole 9 yards. It's gonna be like drinking from a fire hose here. So my goal for this quarter, A1 for me, is doing the copywriting for the 9 funnels. We already know what the products are, and we already have a rough idea of what the costs are going to be to develop those products and what they're going to sell for, but actually doing the sales copywriting is something that I need to focus on for 9 funnels. And you'll notice 9 funnels here, and if we go down to our annual goals, our goal is to have 12 total. So these enrolling funnels fall under those lead generation goal. Seriously, refrigerator? And then based upon this big project, this big goal, we typically go over to the team quadrant and we look at who needs to be trained on something new, or what new processes or systems do we need to develop in order to achieve this result. So in this particular instance, looking at creating these funnels, there are some internal processes I need to come up with. So that's what this line is. And then there's some people that need to be trained so that they can help me put together these funnels. And that's who these 2 people are. I'm just using code so I'm not giving away or publicly giving away team members' names. And so that's how we go through the project, essentially creating goals and then immediately moving it into an actionable plan. And then what we do, once we have our big push, is we look at everything else that we have to do on a day-to-day basis. So we have our big project, then we go through the day-to-day, and one of the things that we found going through the day-to-day was, in order for me to do 9 funnels, we have to reduce the amount of content. So we're only going to do 26 content videos, where normally we do something like 30, if not close to 40 per quarter. And so that's going to be my second priority. And then what we do is we say, okay, well, based upon that, we pretty much are probably going to have our entire quarter booked up by our normal processes and then the big project that we have. What else would we like to accomplish? So the rest is kind of a wish list. And the reason I think it's so important to approach goal setting like this is because focus is so important, and it's so easy to get distracted with other things and try and do too many things and end the quarter with having zero accomplishments, having a bunch of half-done projects. So this is what's been really helpful to myself and just the team in making sure that we actually accomplish what we set out to do, as opposed to ending the quarter with like 6 half-done projects, right? Because that doesn't really help to build momentum on each other. And so that does it for kind of a very brief overview of what we've done here with these quadrants. For privacy reasons, I've just deleted everything that we're doing in the products and services. I'm excited to hopefully share that with you in 2 or 3 quarters. That's how long it's going to take to put together some stuff in there. Now, once we're done with this, we go into a project planning mode. So I'll go through founder and operations in a moment here, because this is something that I think you should just plan for yourself as an entrepreneur and business owner. But we'll go down to development so you can kind of see how this starts to play out. So for example, our goal was creating 9 new sales funnels. So I have to do a bunch of copywriting, but I also need to come up with a process so that as I do the copywriting, someone else can take all of that and actually build the funnel. And so that's what this is here under R&D. So I have essentially 4, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I can count. Oh, I have 5. I have 5 weeks. Okay. So essentially I have 4.5, we'll say 4.5 weeks to figure out what the process is going to be of taking that copy and putting it into a fully functioning funnel. So I'll actually link up in the cards in the description to a video that's a perfect example of what this looks like. It's a video that walks you through how to use MailerLite to create a full funnel. And so if you watch that video, when I say create process, that's exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, sometimes when we train team members, I just send them to the videos we post on this channel. Like, that's how detailed we make sure the content we post here is. And of course, it's the exact same process we follow for internal processes, right? And so you'll see here, so as I go through and I create this training, then if we come up to training over here, you'll see if I go all the way, as soon as I'm done creating the training, the system, oh my gosh, can't talk. As soon as I'm done creating the process, these 2 people are going to start the training the very next week. And then if I scroll down here, so I'm gonna have August right here so you can see it in action. And I'm going to scroll down to our sales funnel creation, and you'll see August 3rd is when they're going to start the sales funnel training, and they're going to try and build the first funnel. Now, all of these 16s represent all of the copywriting I'm doing once per week. So once per week, I'm doing the copywriting for a different particular product that we're hoping to launch, but it's going to take a while because I have to do the copywriting and put the system together. And so I'm showing this to you not to say this isn't me trying to overcomplicate a process. This is just me trying to show you that this is the amount of effort and thought you need to put into your quarters, your weeks, and this is how you make sure that you have enough time to do everything. Because I first went through this process, we wanted to do all 12 this quarter. I went through this entire process and I said it's physically impossible unless I work 60 hours a week for the entire quarter. And so that's where we had to start cutting content. That's where I had to cut the number of funnels that we were doing. And the other advantage of doing this is you actually are planning, if you happen to have a team, I mean, our team is only 6 people. It's not like we're a giant company, right? But this also makes sure that we aren't overloading our team as well, because I can look at this particular person, CM1, and I can go through this chart and make sure that there isn't a week where we are expecting them to do like 50 hours of work, right? We also need to spread out their time as well as our time. So I hope that was actually helpful. I just wanted to go through one example here because it would be boring if I went through all of them, but that's essentially how we do the planning process. We set the goal. We want 9 funnels. What do we need to do? Develop a process, train some people, and I need to do some work. So we plan all of that out and we make sure that people aren't overlapping in terms of, hey, we're going to build the funnel this week, but I'm not done with the process until the next week, right? So go ahead and hit that like button if you're getting some value. Comment below if this is making sense, and more importantly, if it's not making sense. Please do let me know. So what I want to do now is go through the process that I've developed for staying on top of our projects and not pulling my hair out, because something I've done really poorly in the past is actually staying on top of our projects. So you can copy this for yourself. There's no upsell here. I always get comments like, "What do you have a course for this or that?" Like, I don't have time to make courses right now. I'm sorry. Too busy doing other stuff. So in running your company, I essentially see three major tiers. You have founders activities, you have operations, and then you have development. So founder, this is where you're making your vision and your goals and creating your plan. So for me, the vision is something that we don't share publicly, but these are our goals, right? So you set some goals and then you create a plan, which is pretty much this Gantt chart. You say, this person's gonna be responsible for this person's going to be responsible for that. That's as much details as the plan needs. You'll notice that there isn't a detailed of do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not your job to figure out how to get it done. It's your job to just say, this needs to get done, and we think this is how long it's going to take. So that's all there is to it. I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place. This first part, the founder. And then the second part, operations, this is where you actually start going in your project manager and you start getting detailed with your tasks. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. You start communicating with team members, and of course you do all of the communication and timesheets and all that fun stuff. And then of course, development is the actual implementation of the first two. Rubber meets the road. People are going to go through training, or you're going to be physically creating processes and systems for your business, or in our case, hiring, because I just had oh gosh, I'll get on that in another video. We'll have a review of some new platforms we've tried to use for hiring, pros and cons and whatnot. So hopefully that is enough of an organized kind of brain dump for you to understand how we set our goals and how we create this project plan. And really the last step of our process here is taking all of these and creating Basecamp tasks. So I won't go through this. If you're enjoying this, go ahead and comment below if you want me to go through our Basecamp and how we organize. But essentially we use the exact same structure inside our Basecamp. So you can see here, there's a founder project, vision, goals, plan, operations, planning, communication, project, and performance. And if I go back over here, that's exactly what you see on this chart. So we make sure we follow this, we create a chart, and we keep that structure all the way through into our Basecamp. And then, and only then, do I go and start making time blocks. And so I have plenty of time blocking videos on this channel, so I won't go through the process of time blocking, but this is how I go from goals all the way down to this is going to be what most of my weeks look like moving forward through the entire quarter. So I sincerely hope you got some value out of this video, and most importantly, you have some ideas on how to set your own goals and create your own project plan. Again, please use the comment section to let me know what you liked and didn't like, what made sense, what you didn't like, and what did and did not make sense in this explanation, because I think this is so important. And I know it's a lot more fun to talk about sales numbers or look at new sales funnels or how to make more money, but at the end of the day, all of those are dependent upon good planning, good project planning, and I think this is going to be very helpful in making your business more successful as well. So go ahead and hit that like button. Hopefully if you're not, hit that subscribe button as well, because these vlogs are going to drop every week where I just dive into some part of my business and I pull back the curtain and show you exactly what we are doing. No fluff, no BS. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, you know what to do. Keep building the business you love.